So in the last class, so what we completed, so we create the table and we insert the data, update the data as well as delete the data. Okay, so today I'll discuss about the getting data from the database. So after that we'll go with the types of result sets. Okay, very important. Okay, types of result sets. So after that, so we'll go with the statement versus prepared statement. Okay, so they lost in the enter. What is the difference between the statement and the prepared statement? Okay, here to tell. So if time permits, we'll go with the transaction management. And finally, we'll go with the batch updates. Okay, so there are things we are going to discuss as part of the JDBC. Okay, now, so if you see this one, so this is about the delete the data from the customer table here. See, so what is the procedure to connect to the database? Okay, previous class I'm discussing. Okay, we have to register driver with the driver manager. How to register? There is a method called register driver. Okay, so for this method we need to pass the driver as an argument. After that we have to call the get connection method and the driver manager by passing the three arguments. For the first one, JDBC URL, username and password. Okay, so then we'll get the connection object. So from the connection object we need to get the statement. Okay, because statement object is the execute method. So for this execute method we need to pass the SQL statement. Here we will take the one SQL statement here. Okay, so these are the things we discussed in the previous class. Now, so I want to get the data from the customer table. What is the query we have to write? Select a star from customer, right? So in the same way, I'll open this SQL workbench. Let's see. See this one, customer number, customer name, and customer age. Okay, so I want to insert one more record here. We have one or two, right? So I want to insert the 100 as well. Okay, row affected, and just try to execute the commit method. And now, how many records we have in the customer table? We have two records here. Now, I want to get this data from this table here. See, select star from customer. Okay, this is the query to retrieve the data from the customer table here. Now, so we require statement object here. Okay, that's fine here. But instead of execute update method, okay, instead of execute update method, we have to call the execute query method. So for selective statements, we have to use the execute query. For non-selective statements, we have to use the execute update. Okay, now see here. So just change this update to query method. That's it. Okay, change update to query method. Now, what is the return type of this execute query method? The return type of the execute query method is result set. Result set RS I'm taking. So now this result set contains all the rows from the database here. Now we have to iterate this, and okay, we have to iterate this RS result set, and we have to print, okay, or whatever you want, you can perform the operations here. Okay, now see, we have to use the while loop RS dot, okay, next method. So if the rows, okay, if the result set contains the rows, and when I'm calling the RS dot next, it will go to the next row. If it is available, it will give the true as the output here. If it is true, so we can get the data by using the column here. How can I get the data based on the column? You can see here. RS dot get int of, either you can use the column index or column name here. Either you can use the 0 means first column index, then 1, 2, 3, or else directly I can use the column name here. The preferable here is, the recommended here is, you have to use the column name instead of the 1, 2, 3 or indexes. So what's the first column here? Customer number, CUST number here. The corresponding data will be available in the int, okay, C number. In the same way, you can get the all the data, all the column data, customer name as well as the customer age. here customer age here. So these two are the strings, right? So instead of get int, we have to use the get string. That means result set contains the methods like get int for retrieving the integer data. And if you want to retrieve the string data, so this result set is having the get string. In the same way, here also customer age is a string. Let me check here. Customer number var2 and customer age is also number here. Now we're changing the variable name, cname, and the customer age. Now instead of int, we have to use the string. Okay, so we are retrieving the data based on the columns here. Now we have to print, right? So you can print the data on the console. System.out.println customer number. Okay, so plus c number. In the same way, if you want to print the customer name, and finally we need to just print the customer age, ch, and here customer age. Okay, so this is that's it here. So what is the result type of the execute query? The result set here. So we have to iterate this result set and we have to get the data based on the column. Okay, for this column we'll get the customer number and whatever the customer name and customer age here. Okay, all the data we are going to get and we can print that information here. See this one, just try to execute this program, right click, run a Java application. See this one, customer number 102, customer name 102, customer 102, and customer is 36 here. These are the first row. What about the second row here? Customer number 100, customer 100 is a name, and customer is equal 25 here. In this way, we can get the data and we can print the information here. And even if you want, you can print the row number as well. Okay, if you want, you can print the row number. How can we print the row number? System.out.println or is dot. There is a method called get row. Okay, so there is a method called get row. Here it can print the row number. So this one, just I want to print that row number as well. So control F11. This one, first row data, row number 1 data, and second row data here. Okay, so in this way, so we can get and we can print the information on the console here. Okay, now, so in the intro, they will ask one question here. What is the difference between the execute update and execute query here? So here we are using the execute query. Okay, so in the previous case we use the execute update method. So what is the difference between the execute query and execute update? Okay, just I'm writing the differences here. Very simple. Execute update and there is another method called execute query. Okay, so first point in the execute update here is, so when should we go for the execute update method here? So if you want to execute the non-selective statements like insert, update, delete, etc. Okay, then we can go with the execute update. And when should you go for the execute query method? So for example, you have select statements. If you want to perform select operations, then we have to use the execute query method. Okay, now let's see here. First one here is used for non-select statements. Okay, non-select statements here. So what about the next one? Execute query method used for select statements. So these are the first point. So coming to the next point in the execute update here. So what is the return type of the execute update here? The return type of the execute update here is integer. Okay, so return type integer. Okay, what it indicates? It indicates the number of rows affected by that statement. For example, I am inserting the 2 rows here, then it will give the 2 as the output here. It will return the 2 as the integer. And in the same way, for example, so I am deleting the 10 rows, then it will give the 10 as the return type here. Okay, 10, it will give the 10 as the output. In the same way, coming to the execute query, what is the return type of the execute query? Result set. It contains the rows from the database here. Okay, the return type result set here. Okay, these are the two important difference between the execute update and execute query here. Okay, so if you see, so in the previous case, I'm commenting this one. I'm taking the control Z. Okay, now see. So what we're doing here is we are deleting the data from the database based on the customer number 101 here. Okay, so if you observe, we don't have a customer 101. Just I want to modify the query to 102. Okay, what we're doing here is we are deleting the data from the database customer table here. Now, so I told right. So what is the return type of the execute update? The execute update return type here is integer. Something integer x I'm taking. Now when I'm printing the x value, it will give you some integer number based on the select statement here. For example, sorry, for non-select statements here. For example, here we are deleting the data, right? So here we will get the 1 as the output here. System.out.println, just print the x value here. Okay, what it indicates here, number of rows affected by that statement here. So for example, I'm deleting the 10 rows here. Delete from customer. No need to, just if you don't write this where condition, how many rows it will delete. So how many rows in the table, those many rows it will be deleted here. So we have a 2 rows. That's why it will give the 2 is the output here. Okay. So let me delete one row here, 1 or 2. So what is output here? We'll get the 1 as output because we are deleting the one row from the database here. Okay. Run as Java application. See this one is one record deleted successfully. Now go and check in the database. So we have only one record here. See this one. Okay, one more record. Okay, previous record got deleted here, one not one. Now I want to insert one more record here. See, like this. Insert into customer values. Okay, I want to insert one not one and customer 101 and 25 is the okay age, customer age. Now in this case, what is output here? Also will get the one is the output here because we are inserting only one record. That's why it give the one here. For example, you are updating the 10 records. Then so what is output here? So 10 is the return type it will give you here. Now see this one, run a Java application. So one it is returning because it is inserting the only one record. See, select start from customer here. See this one. For example, I want to update here. I want to update the two records. Okay, so I'm not taking the any condition here. What is the SQL query to update the data? Update. Then which table you want to update? Customer table. Okay, for which column? Set. Okay, I want to modify the customer age equals to 30. Where? Okay, I don't want to take the where here. Now what is output here? Okay, so update customer set customer age is equal to 30 here. I'm setting the so the customer age is 30 for all the records here. Now see what is output here. It will give the 2 because we have a 2 records in the database. 2 records will be updated to the okay customer is 30 here. Okay, let's see here. Run as Java application. See what is output here? 2 is the output here because we are updating the 2 records here. If you go and check in the database, 2 records got updated here. 30 here. Okay, so this is about the difference between the execute update and execute query here. Okay, once I'm repeating here. So when should we go for the execute update? So if we want to perform the non-select operations, we can go with the execute update. If we want to perform the select operations, okay, we have to use the execute query method. What is the return type of the execute update method? Integer, indicating that it indicates that number of rows affected by that statement here. What about the result return type of the execute query here? So the result set here. The return type of the results type is result set of the execute query here. Now, small thing I want to discuss regarding this execute update here. Okay, we're talking about the return type right here. So it is returning the integer. So for listen. So for create table, okay, and order table and drop table. So whenever we are performing these operations, okay, so it will give the 0 as the output here. It won't give the 1. Okay, for these operations like create, alter, and drop, execute update method returns the 0, not 1. Okay, but remaining statements like insert, update, delete, so for those it will give the integer, indicating that number of rows affected by that statement here. But in this case, for these three operations, it will give the 0. Execute update method returns the 0. Okay, so that you remember here, this is very important. Okay, so that is the difference between the execute, update, and execute query here. Okay, so clear everyone? Any questions? Hemanta, Swati, and Rahul, any questions? Okay, good. Now see this one. So next one here is, you'll go with the types of result sets here. Okay, how many types of result sets we have, we'll discuss here. Okay, let's see. Very important, listen. If you observe, so previous case I'm taking here, result set. So we require the statement. So here connection dot, okay, not connection, statement dot, which method you have to call? Let me open this one here. Remove this one. Statement dot, there is a method called execute query. The return type is a result set. Okay, we have a result set now. We have a result set. Now, see this one. So I won't get the data. I won't get the second row or third row here. Okay, remove this delete statement as well. Just select star from customer here. Remove this one as well. Okay. So now, how many records in the database we have? 2 records. Okay. I won't get the second record directly. Okay, I want to get the second record directly from the result set. So here how we are getting, so while iterating, okay, we are able to get the first row, second row, and all here. Now I want to get the first record, for example, I want to get the last record, and I want to get the middle record directly here. Now, so by using this result set, it is not possible here. By using this result set, it is not possible. By default, what will happen? Okay, read only or forward only result will be created here. Okay, by default, what result sets it is created, read only or forward only result sets will be created. That means we can't use methods like first. I want to get the first record from the result set, I cannot use. And for example, I want to get the last record, and I want to get the absolute of 3. That means, so if I'm getting, if I want third record, so I can pass the absolute of 3, it should give the third record. But by using this result set, I cannot get it here. Okay, now, so what is the solution for that one? For that, we have a scroll sensitive as well as a scroll insensitive result sets we have. So instead of iterating, that means instead of using the while loop, I can get like this directly, rs dot, okay, first, like this, I can get this one, so that it will give the first row. Okay, in the same way, for example, I want to get the last row, I can use the rs dot last. And for example, I want to get the fifth record from the result set, then we have to use the absolute like this. Okay, we have to get the absolute here like this, and here we need to pass the row number. Okay, so that it will give the fourth record and all here. Okay, now, so here remove this one. Okay, we cannot call the first method, last method, absolute method, previous method on the, okay, by default result sets here. So then what we have to use? We have to use the two types of result sets. First one is a scroll sensitive, second one is a scroll insensitive result sets we have. Okay, I'm writing here, see. Types of result sets. The first one here is scroll sensitive, second one is a scroll insensitive here. Second one is scroll insensitive. So very important in the interview, they'll ask this question, okay, how many types of result sets we have? Then you have to scroll sensitive as well as a scroll insensitive result sets here. Okay, so by using these two result sets, I can call, okay, what type of methods? We can call the first method, last method. I can get the last record from the result set, and so we can call the absolute method. and we can call the previous method also to get the previous record. Okay, so these are the methods we can call on the scroll sensitive and scroll insensitive cell sets here. Now, so what is the difference between the scroll sensitive and scroll insensitive result sets here? Listen carefully. So listen this statement here. So scroll sensitive result set can pick up the changes, okay, so made by another application to the database here. Okay, so scroll sensitive result set can pick up the changes that are made to the database by another application. Okay, so after opening the result set. What about the scroll insensitive result set here is, so in the case of scroll insensitive result set, so these cannot pick up the changes that are made to the database by another application. Okay, so now in order to get the latest data in the scroll sensitive, we have to call the rs dot refresh row method. We have to call the refresh row method, then only we'll get the latest data. Now see, I'm writing here. In the case of scroll sensitive, so these result sets or these result sets can pick up the changes that are made to the database, okay, by another application. Okay, see this one. This result set can pick up the changes so that are made to DB, okay, by other application. Other application may be, okay, so other UI application, okay, or other database operation or other source system. Okay, so other application I'm talking about here. See, we'll take one small example so that you can get the things here. Okay, so scroll sensitive result set can pick up the changes that are made to the database by other application after opening the result set. This is very important here, after opening the result set. Okay, now if I want to get the fresh data or latest data, then what method we have to call here? Which method we have to call? Okay, so there is a method called refresh row method. There is a method called refresh row method. So when I'm calling the refresh row method on the result set, we'll get the latest data. Okay, so this is about the scroll sensitive. What about the scroll insensitive result sets here? Okay, see, so these result sets cannot pick up the changes, okay, that are made to the database by other application, by another application after opening the result set, and even we cannot call the refresh row method and the scroll instance result set here. Anyhow, we are not getting the latest data. Okay, what is the use of the calling the refresh row method? Okay, so we cannot call the refresh row method here. Now, I'm writing, see this one. So this result set cannot pick up the changes so that are made to DB by another application. Okay, so and we can call the refresh row method also. We cannot call the refresh row method. That is the difference between the scroll sensitive and the scroll insensitive result sets here. Okay, now we'll take small example here so that you can get the things actually. See, so for example, I want to go with the scroll sensitive. Why I'm going to the scroll sensitive? Because I want to call these methods first method, last method, or absolute or previous here. Okay, so by default read only and forward only results will be created. Okay, I cannot call like first method, last method on the read only or forward only result set here. Now, so in order to go with this, okay, I want the first row and last row, then we can go with the scroll sensitive or scroll insensitive here. So let's start with the scroll sensitive, then we'll go with the scroll insensitive with small examples here. Now, so how can we create the scroll sensitive result set here? Very simple here. So whenever we creating the statement object, whenever we are creating the statement object, okay, so as a constructor, it's see this one, result set dot, okay, type, see this one, scroll sensitive here. We have to use the type underscore scroll sensitive is a constant. We are using that one here. Now, in the scroll sensitive, there are two types again, read only and updatable here. If I'm using the read only, I can read the data. I cannot update the data. Okay, instead of read only, if I'm using the updatable, I can read as well as I can update the data here. Okay, that is also possible. Let's start with the read only result set here. In the scroll sensitive, again two types here. Okay, first one is a scroll sensitive, sorry, first one is a read only, second one is a updatable here. See this one, read only result sets. And what is the next one? updatable here. Okay, so let's start with the read only, later we'll go with the updatable here. Okay, let's see. So comma, so here also we have a result set dot, okay, so concur read only here. See, if you see this one dot, we have a concur read only as well as the concur updatable here. Okay, I'm using the concur read only so that I can read the data. That's it. Now, so remove all the things here not required. I don't want to use the while loop here. Directly I can get the data here. Okay, so now here if you are using the scroll sensitive or scroll insensitive result sets, we should not use the star here. We should not use the star. We have to mention the, or we have to specify the column names. Okay, so what is the first column name here? Customer number, customer number. Next one is, what is the next column? Customer name. And what is the last column? Customer age. We have a 3 columns here if you see this one. Now, so here we are getting the result set. Okay, which type of result set we are getting? Scroll sensitive result set here. Now we can call the methods. Okay, first method, last method, etc. Now I want to call the rs dot, so there is a method called first method. Okay, we can get the, that means the cursor is moving to the first row here. Now if you want to get the data of the first row, we can get the data here. See this one, system.out.println rs dot, I want to get the get string of customer name here. Okay, so customer name. So what is output in this case? We'll get the, it will go to the direct first row and it will get the data of the customer name here. See, 101. Okay, what is the customer name? We'll get the customer 101. We are going to get his output here. See this one. Run as Java application. Customer 101 we are getting or not here. For example, I want to get the last row. Okay, so this result set contains the 2 records. Okay, from the result set we are getting, not from the database. You have to remember. Okay, so that's why I'm calling the rs.last and rs.first method. Okay, in this case this rs is having the second record also, last record 101 and 100 here. Now what is output here? We'll get the customer 100 is output here. For example, I want to get the, okay, so absolute record. Okay, for example, there are 10 records. In the 10 records I want to get the 5th record. For example, here I want to insert one more record 103 and the customer 103 here. Just try to insert. Okay, one row affected. Just try to commit that statement here. Okay, so how many records we have in the customer table? 3 records. Final one is the 100 and in middle we have 103 here. Now I want to get this second row here. I want to get the second row here. Now how can I get this one? So instead of first and last, we have a method called absolute. Okay, row number we need to provide here, second row. Now what is output here? So the second row customer name we are going to get, that is a customer 103 here. Okay, so run as Java application. See this one, customer 103 we are getting or not? Yes, we are getting here. That means, see, so by default scroll, by default read only result set will be created. On the read only result set I cannot call the first method, last method and absolute method. Okay, but if you want to call the first method and last method, we have to use the scroll sensitive or scroll insensitive result set here. If you use the instead of scroll sensitive or instead of scroll sensitive, I'm using the scroll insensitive, same result we are going to get here. The difference is different. See this one, the difference between the scroll sensitive and scroll insensitive here is, so the changes here. Okay, so in the case of scroll sensitive, so these result sets can pick up the changes that are made to the database application by another application here. Okay, what about this one, scroll insensitive? So this scroll insensitive result set cannot pick up the changes that are made to the DB by another application. We'll take small example on this one. Okay, now see this one. I want to take the small I want make small change in this program here. See here, I want stop this program temporarily here. I want pause this program temporarily so that I can perform some operation on the DB by other application here. That is also possible here. Okay, so now what I can do is, so I want to take the, you can take absolute or first. I'm taking the first record here. Remove this one. Okay, how can I pause the, okay, how can I pause this program temporarily? Very simple. So we can use the system dot, okay, in dot, there is a method called read method. Okay, it will pause the, okay, application temporarily here. Now in the same way I will take one more time here, system dot in dot, okay, read. Okay, so whenever we are entering, okay, whenever click the enter button or whenever you press the enter button, then only so it will continue the program here. So this two, why I'm taking the two here is, so when I'm pressing the, okay, enter button, it will release the two keys actually. First one is the /n and /r here, /n and /r. So there are two characters, right? So this first read method will read the /n and the second read method will read the /r. After reading, so it will execute the remaining statements here. Okay, that's the thing you have to remember here. Now, so in the Windows it will release the two keys, but in the case of Linux it will release the only one key if you press the enter button. Okay, so based on the operating system you have to use the, either you have to take one read method or two read method. It is the Windows, right? That's why I'm taking the two read methods here. Now just it will throw some exception, just handle the, okay, IO exception. That's it here. Okay, now here I want to get the record here. See, system.out.println. I want to get the rs dot. I want to modify the age here. So get int. Okay, so customer age I want to take here. Customer age. So it should take in the double quotes because it is a string. Okay, now so before I wanted the data here. Customer rs dot get int of age, customer age here. Now, so in order to get the latest data, we have to call the which method, rs dot refresh raw method here. Now, what will happen whenever this program is executed? So it will get the customer age, and here it will pause the program temporarily. Okay. Meanwhile, what I can do is I will go to the database and I can perform some operations. Okay. So when I'm after performing some operation, so if I press enter, okay, this method will be executed. Refresh row, it will get the latest data onto the result set, and when I'm calling the, so rs.getInt, it will give the latest data to that customer age here. Okay, let's see here. So run as Java application. So previously 30, age is 30 for the first row. Okay, see this one. So still process running here. Okay, so this red color you can see right now. So what I can do is, so I'm going to the database and I want to update the data here. Customer age. Okay, so age equal to, I'm like 6 or 100 I'm taking here, where customer number equal to 101. What is the first row? So we are performing some operation in the first row only here, rs.first. Now just try to execute this one. So by another application means, okay, it may be the command prompt or other application. Okay, so now updating the record here, row affected, and try to commit this one here. Now if you execute this statement, okay, we have 100 here. Previously we are getting the 30 and we modified that record. Okay, now what the data it should get? It should give the 100 here, not 30 here. Okay, so let me, and I'm trying to just press enter here. Okay, we are getting the 100 or not here, customer age. Yes, we are getting the 100. How we are getting? So because of the refresh row method. If I'm not calling now, we won't get the latest data, it will give the old data. So we should call the refresh row method in order to get the latest data. Okay, so this is about the scroll sensitive here. So here if you observe, okay, if you use the concur read only, we can read the data, that's it. For example, if you want to modify and if you want to delete, okay, so it is not possible. Then so which type of result set you have to use? We have to use the concur updatable here. Okay, which result set? Concur updatable. Just I'm modifying into the concur updatable here. Now we are getting the first row here. Now if you want modify the data, we can modify, or else if you want to delete the data, you can delete the data here. Okay, now so we are getting the first row here. Now I want to delete the first row. How can I do this one? Rs dot, there is a method called delete row. That's it. The first row will be deleted here. If you want, you can see this one. System.out.println row got deleted here. Row got deleted here. Okay. Now, so how many rows in the database we have? 3 rows. The what is the first row? 101. 101 should be deleted here. Run as Java application here. Okay. Row got deleted. Go and check in the database. Okay. We have only 2 records here. See this one? 101 record got deleted here because of this statement delete row. Now, for example, I want to update the, okay, so second record or third record. Okay, I want to insert one more record here. See, so 101. and 101 here. Okay, so try to insert one more record, insert it, and commit this one, and try to execute this statement here. We have three records here, 103, 101, and 100 here. Now I want to modify the, so this middle record here. So the second record, right? So how can I get the second record? rs dot absolute method we have to call. Which method? rs dot absolute method, which row? Second row here. Now I want to update the, okay, second row here based on the, okay, concur updatable here. Now, so rs dot, okay, update, okay, string, okay, update string here. So for which column you want to update? Okay, so column is a second column here, or else directly you can give the column name as well. I want to use a customer name. I want to update the customer name. Okay, to what name? To which name here? Okay, updated custom name. So this is the updated name I'm giving to the customer here for the second record here. Okay, now, so if you want, you can update the age also. Then rs dot update int. Okay, anyhow I want to update here, rs dot update int here. What is the column name? Customer number. And so what is the age? Okay, age is, I want to modify to the 45 here. Presently second record age is 25. Now I want to modify the 45 here. Okay, that's it here. Now, so whenever we are calling the update string and update int in the result set, so it will update the result set here. Now, so if you want to stop permanently, so which method to use? rs dot, there is a method called update row here. Update row we have to call like this. Previously we used the delete row, and we have to call the update row here to update the data in the database here. Okay, now see this one. So row updated, row updated here. Okay, now see this one. So run a Java application. Okay, row updated here. Go and check in the database. Second record information updated. See this one. Okay, we are updated the not customer age, we updated the customer number 45, and here updated the customer name here. Okay, it is updating or not? Yes, it is updating here. So in this way, so we have to perform some operation on the scroll sensitive and scroll insensitive result set here. And coming to the scroll insensitive, okay, so both are same except the changes here. So if we use the scroll insensitive set, okay, so we can read as well as we can update here, but we won't get the latest changes that are made to the database by another application. Okay, that is the only point, and remaining thing are simple here. Okay, so there are two types of results. It's very important here. Okay, so clear everyone? Any questions? Hemant and Shwati. Okay, fine. Okay, so next one here is, I'll give you an assignment here is, okay, so what is the assignment here? Listen. So I don't know how many members you will do it. See here. So first of all, I want to print some menu on the console. Okay, I want to print the menu items. First one is, okay, so insert employee. Second one is update employee, and the third one here is delete employee, and fourth menu item is okay, select employees, and finally exit. Okay, so first of all, I want to display this menu on the, okay, console here. Now the user has to select this item, menu item. Okay, so here I will ask the user, please select the, okay, item. Then if the user enters one, then so it will go to the insert employee method. We have to take a, okay, method for each and every operation here. Insert employee, update employee, delete employee, select employees. Okay, we need to mention the four. We have to write the four methods here. If the user selects the one, then it will go to the insert method there. Okay, again, so we have to ask the user, enter employee number, enter, okay, so employee name, and enter employee age, and take the data and try to insert the data in the database here. Okay, so we'll take a small thing here is, okay, so just to continue from there, see this one. So for that, what you have to do here is, so normal core Java, I'm mixing core Java concepts with the, okay, advanced Java concepts here, so that you can get the things here. Okay, methods as well as the object, how to, okay, so use the objects as well as the method in the real time. So those things I want to discuss here. Okay, now, so what I can do is, just I want to comment all the things here. okay, or else I will take one more method like public, okay, void. It's a test method. Just I want to keep all the things into this method here. Okay, it will throw some exception and all here. Okay, forget about this method now. Remove this one as well. So how can I display that menu actually? Okay, in the core Java, which concept I can use? Okay, very simple. Do while loop I have to use. Do while loop here. Okay, before checking the condition, it will display okay the menu items, right? Like this here. See, do loop, do while loop. I'm taking the while loop here. Okay, I want to take okay number less than 3 or 5. Okay, so I want to initialize the integer number initially 0. Now I want to display the menu item like this here. See, so system.out.println menu, and in the same way just add the add employee or something here. If you want, you can use the customer also, not an issue. First menu item, add customer. Okay, mention like this here. One dot add customer. Come to the second one here is so update customer. Update customer here. Okay, next in the same way delete customer, and what is the fourth one here is select customer here, and finally there is a exit, right? So user can enter the okay file number so that we have to exit from the program here. Okay, so whenever user enters file, so exit, that is exit. Okay, so this is about the menu here. Okay, let's see here. So now I'll ask the user to select the either of these menu items here. Now see here, so system.out.println, please, after displaying the menu, I want to ask the user, please select, okay, select operation I can say. Okay, whenever he enters one, okay, select means we can select 1 2 3 4 or 5 here. Now how can I read the data from the keyboard whenever select the user enters the okay any number from the keyboard? So we can use the scanner class. Okay, in the core Java we have a scanner equals to new scanner. See this one, new scanner here. So we need to give the system.in. System.in means monitor, sorry, keyboard here. System.in represents the keyboard here. We are attaching the keyboard to the scanner here. Now I can get the data here. Okay, for example, if user selects the one scanner dot next int, there is a method called next int. It will give the integer here, integer number. Okay, that number only. Okay, so I'm checking the condition here, number less than 5 here. Okay, now see this one. Okay, we have to take the 6 here. Whenever user enters 5, okay, then what will happen? So number equal to 5, 5 less than 6, it is a true. Okay, it will display this thing. And here now based on the number selection, we have to call the corresponding methods here. Now if I want to write like this, sir, if number equals to 1, then which method we have to call? We have to create one more method called add customer. That method should be executed here. Now so create one method here, public, okay, I want to use the static, later we'll go with the non-static, public void, public static void add customer. Which method we call? Add customer here. Now we have to write the logic to insert the data into the database here. Okay, adding the customer. Okay, here I'm writing like see, I'm taking the only SOP here, system.out.println insert customer, or inserting customer data into DB. Okay, so here write the JDBC code and all. Okay, now so if the number equal to 1, then I have to call the add customer method directly like this. You can call the add customer method from the main method here. For example, else if number equal to 2, then I want to call the update customer here, just to create one more method. In the similarly, you have to prepare all the methods. Okay, insert, update, delete, and select customers here. I'm going to take the update here. Now updating customer data into the DB here. Okay, so there's a thing here to remember here. Now for example, so else if, again I have to take the else if here, and the 3 4 you have to select. And for example, I'm taking the else if again. Okay, so number equals to okay 5, then we have to exit the this loop actually. So directly you can use the break statement, automatically it will come out of the loop here. And just mention here system.println, so user set the exit here, exiting something. Okay, this is a thing you have to remember here. So in this way, so you have to perform some operations here. Now, so whenever user selects the number one, it will go to the add customer and here write the JDBC code. And so that JDBC code, what it will do, it will insert the data in the database here. Okay, like see here. Now try to run this program, run as Java application. See this one, menu item is displaying. Okay, please select the operation either 1, 2 or 5. Okay, I'm taking the 1. Okay, after 1 it will go to the, okay, it will go to the which method, add customer method, and the menu again it will display here after performing some operations here. Okay, like see here. Okay, inserting customer into the data, the database, again it is displaying for selecting the second option here, for example update, delete, etc. Okay, again user selects the 2 here, it will go to the update customer method here. See, updating customer data into the DB, and it is displaying the menu item here. Now for example, if we are displaying the 5, if we enter the 5, what will happen? See this one, it is executing, the program is exited here. See, so in this way just to perform the operations here. So clear everyone this assignment? So can I take it for this customer? You can go with the update or what? Okay, yeah. So here what you have to do is just to take the, okay, so the like this, we need the connection object here. Same thing here. Okay, so it will give some exception, just handle that exceptions here. Okay, again here I have to ask the user please enter, okay, or else directly, okay, use the hard coded value. Later you can go with the, again, okay, read the data from the keyboard, that is also possible. Okay, so initially I want to take the, okay, hard coded value, later you can go with the, okay, so keyboard values here. Now, so which statement you have to use? We have to use the one select state, this insert statement. Okay, so copy this one. So just change this name here, insert into customer values. Okay, I'm taking the hard coded values. Okay, so 800 and customer 800 and age is equal to, okay, let's take 50. Now, so no need to take this result set because it is an insert statement. Now no need to use the execute query. Which method you have to use? We have to use the update here. That's it. And what is the result type? Result return type here is, so instead of result set, here it is an integer. Integer, okay, number. You can take anything here. ABC also. Yes, you can take the number also, or XYZ. You can take anything here. Okay, now that's it. Okay, so here after inserting, so system.println, I am mentioning like customer record inserted successfully. Customer record inserted successfully. Okay, so that's the thing you have to remember here. Now remove this one, and one method is not required for us, like see here. In the same way, create update, and in the same way, okay, you can create the select and delete here. Okay, based on the selection. Okay, so what is this one? So it throws exception, just to handle that exception as well here also, like this. Okay, now see this one here, run as Java application. Okay, select the operation. Okay, so it got inserted here, it will insert, see this one. Okay, inserting the data in the customer. Okay, data got inserted here. See the connection object and customer record inserted successfully. After inserting, so the menu item is displaying one more time for other operation here. Go and check in the database here. Okay, one record should be inserted here, 800. Got it or not? Yes, it is inserting here. So in this way, so you can do the things actually. And what about the update here? So whenever update operation, okay, whenever this method is executed, just so ask the user to enter which record you want to update here. Here I'm hard coding, just here also just try to get the data from the keyboard here. Okay, so this is a thing, just to practice this example. Okay, so you can get the things here, and tomorrow we'll take this example only, but so some coding standards you have to follow. Here we are hard coding all the things here. Okay, so these are the constants. You have to take these constants in the, okay, static variables here. Okay, final variables here. How can you do this one? Very simple here. Okay, I'm writing this one. So private static final string. Okay, I'm taking the URL. Okay, I'm writing here only. Now, so just take this one. this constant, control X, and here just assign that value to the URL here. In the same way, take the username and password. Another constant, I'm taking the user name, DB username, and here what about that one? Password here. Now what is the username? System is a username, and what is the password? Password is the Oracle here. Oracle here. Okay. Now, so did we take the driver class here? Yes, we have to take the driver class. See, instead of this okay hard-coded value, in this case we have to use directly URL. There is a static variable and final variable. There is a constant. What about this one? Username. One here. What about this one? So this is about the password here, like this. Okay. So there's a thing you have to remember here. And here I want to tell you one more important point here is, so for registering the driver, okay, for registering the driver, what we are doing, we are calling the driver manager dot register driver, we are calling here. Okay, so we are creating the object and we are calling like this one. So instead of okay using these two statements, I can directly call one more method called, see this one, class dot for name. Here we need to mention the driver class name. Okay, what it will do actually, what this class dot for name will do here is, so it will register the driver with the driver manager. It will load the driver into the memory and it will register the driver with the driver manager here. Instead of writing these two lines here, I can directly write the class dot for name here. Okay, so it will throw some exception. You have to handle that exception as well here. Okay, here also it will throw the exception handles because we are calling that method in the okay so main method. That's why either we have to handle that to exception, or if you want you can throw that exceptions also. So we discuss this one as part of the exception handling. Okay, now so here what we're doing here is, so instead of using the those two treatments, I'm using the class that for name here. What it will do, so it will load the driver with the okay, it will load the driver class into the memory and it will register the driver with the driver manager here. Very simple. Again, if you observe here also we're hard coding this one here. Okay, copy this one, it is a constant, and just take one more variable called private static final string, okay, driver class here. Okay, driver, we can do like this here, and directly you can use the driver class here. Okay, in this way you have to take the things actually. Even okay, we have to use the exception handling here. We are using the throws, right? So instead of the throws, directly we can use the try catch finally here. So we have to okay we have to use the finally block to close the connection once it is completed here. Once we're done with the operations, we have to close the connections here as well as the statement here. How it is possible? Very simple here. I'm taking the try catch. Okay, I'm taking the exception, and we have to use the finally block. Okay, so exception E I'm taking. Okay, you can print the exception information, print stack trace, but in the real time we have to log that exception into the log file. Okay, so anyhow that log4j will discuss as part of the server.jsp or some Spring concept and all. Now, so go to the final block here. I'm writing like this, or if we have to close the connection, right? If connection, so the connection is available in the try block, but we have to make it as the outside of the try block, so that in the final block also we can insert here. Okay, we can use that one. So null I want to use, remove this one, and this statement also just to make it as a local variable like this here, and remove this statement here. Now if connection okay not equal to null, then only we have to close the connection dot, there is a method called a close method here. In the same way, if okay statement, right, statement not equal to null, then only we have to close the statement here. Statement dot, which method we have to use? We have to use the close method here. Okay, so in this way we have to perform some okay exception handling into the okay this methods here. Now, so if you want, you can create a one more method for getting the connection, actually for getting the connection like this here. Okay, so this code you can okay you can move this code to the okay different this one connection here, class dot for name and driver manager connection to get the okay connection object here. Okay, so that is not okay, that is not required. Okay, anyhow those type of things we'll discuss in the coming classes, not an issue. Okay, so these are the things you have to remember here. So we have to use the final block to close the, okay, to write the cleanup code. What is the cleanup code here? So closing the connection and closing the statements and all here. Okay, so these are things you have to remember here, and tomorrow we'll discuss about the statement versus prepared statement, and we have to use the callable statements and the transaction management and the batch update. So tomorrow we'll try to finish the remaining concept and we'll start the servlet programming here. Okay, so please try to complete this program, update customer as well as delete as well as select and all here based on the selection. Okay, so clear everyone? Any questions? Yeah, okay, thank you. So if you don't have any questions, okay, we'll meet tomorrow, okay, at same time, 7 to 8, okay? Yeah. Thanks everyone. Okay, bye.
Sir, can I talk to you for a minute?
Sorry?
Hello? Can I talk to you for a minute?
Yes, sure.
Here
Sure.
or
Yes, sure. Okay.
okay, let everyone